Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the hidden stories in corporate filings. And today, Consumer Portfolio Services Inc. might just be giving us a peek behind the curtain as they drop some exciting news, or maybe just some news about their recent performance. Let's see what's cooking. Alright, let's dive into what Consumer Portfolio Services Inc., or CPSI as they're often called, has put out there. This filing is essentially a quick update to let everyone know what's been going on. Think of it like a company's quick status report to the world. The big date here is August 11th, 2025. That's when this report was filed, and it's also the date they announced some key results for the periods ending June 30th of this year. So we're looking at their performance for the first 6 months and specifically the second quarter of 2025. Now, why should you care about CPSI? They're involved in purchasing motor vehicle retail installment contracts. Basically, they buy car loans from dealers. Their stock, the common stock, trades on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC under the ticker symbol CPSS. So when we talk about their performance, it directly impacts those who own or are thinking about owning CPSS. The meat of this report, the really juicy part, is under item 2.02. This is where companies usually talk about their earnings, and for CPSI, they've announced their results for both the 3-month and 6-month periods that ended on June 30, 2025. They've also mentioned they're going to have a conference call on August 12, 2025 at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. This is typical. Companies announce their numbers and then talk them through with investors and analysts. It's their chance to explain the story behind the figures. The filing itself notes that a copy of the announcement is attached as an exhibit, specifically Exhibit 99.1, which is their news release about their earnings. This is where the actual numbers and commentary from the company live. While this 8K doesn't contain the full financial statements, it definitely points us to where we can find them in that earnings release. It's like getting the headline and then being told where to find the full article. But who's signing off on this, telling the world that this information is accurate to the best of their knowledge? It's Dinesh Bharwani, who holds a pretty important role as Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer. Having the CFO sign off means they are putting their name and reputation behind these numbers. So what does this tell us about Consumer Portfolio Services? Well, this 8K is mainly an announcement vehicle. It's telling us that CPSI has released its second quarter financial results. Without the actual earnings release itself, we don't have the specific numbers here like revenue, profit, or delinquency rates, which are super important for a company like this. However, the fact that they're announcing these results on August 11th tells us how they're tracking their business and keeping investors informed. For a company in the auto finance space, especially one buying car loans, the key things to watch are always the volume of loans they're buying, how those loans are performing, meaning are people paying them back on time, or are they late payments and defaults, and of course their profitability. Now, if we were looking at the attached Exhibit 99.1, the earnings release, we'd be digging into details like the total amount of car loan contracts they purchased in the quarter, how much they earned on those contracts, and crucially, what their provision for loan losses looks like. A higher provision means they're setting aside more money because they expect more loans to go bad, which is a red flag. Conversely, a lower provision could mean they're more confident in their loan portfolio. We'd also be looking at their servicing revenue, which comes from managing the loans they've bought. For CPSI, a company that's been around for a while, their strategy often involves acquiring contracts from a wide range of dealerships and then servicing those loans. Their success hinges on their ability to accurately price the risk associated with each contract and manage the collections process effectively. Competition in this space can be fierce, with other finance companies and even banks vying for prime loan contracts, so their quarterly results are a good indicator of how they're navigating that competitive landscape. Looking at this particular filing, though, it's very much a heads up that results are out. The real analysis comes from digging into that earnings release they mentioned. We'd usually expect to see growth in the volume of contracts purchased if the company is expanding its market share or if the overall economy is strong and consumer demand for cars is high. On the flip side, if they purchase fewer contracts or if their collection rates are slipping, that could signal challenges. In the world of auto finance, trends like rising interest rates can also play a big role. Higher rates can make car loans more expensive for consumers, potentially leading to lower sales and also impacting the profitability of finance companies. Moreover, economic downturns often see an increase in loan defaults, which directly hits a company like CPSI. So their ability to manage risk and maintain strong cash flows in various economic conditions is paramount. Now, my take on this as a company, Consumer Portfolio Services Inc. operates in a cyclical industry. Auto sales and financing. Their ability to consistently purchase profitable loan portfolios and manage delinquencies effectively is key. This 8K simply acknowledges they've announced their results. The real story, the one that tells us if they're winning or losing in the car loan market, is in the earnings release itself. Without those specific numbers, it's hard to judge their direction. However, the fact that they're holding a conference call and providing a registration link shows they are actively engaging with the investment communities effectively is key. This 8K simply acknowledges they've announced their results. The real story, the one that tells us if they're winning or losing in the car loan market, is in the earnings release itself. Without those specific numbers, it's hard to judge their direction. However, the fact that they're holding a conference call and providing a registration link shows they are actively engaging with the investment community. We'll be keeping an eye on that earnings release for the real details. Alright, that's our quick decode of this Consumer Portfolio Services Inc. 8K filing. What's your take on what a company like CPSI does, and what do you think are the biggest challenges they face? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this decoding was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more insights from the world of corporate finance. And don't forget to join our Discord community, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next decode.